This challenge you're seeing right here is not just your ordinary browser challenge. Rather, it's a challenge that's part of a qualifying round for a BT6 tournament coming up. You heard that right. A bunch of players in the BT6 community have come together to organize probably the biggest BT6 tournament yet. To find out who is the best BT6 player, this tournament is going to consist of challenges ranging from bosses, races, spending the least cash, spending the least tiers, and potentially even more. Now, before I jump into the challenge, let's explain the rules of the tournament. So first off, that challenge isn't part of the real tournament. It's part of the qualifying round where we have 2 weeks to submit our best solution to that challenge, and the 256 best solutions will move on into the tournament bracket. And this tournament is a double elim bracket. Basically face off against one person for each round, and you have 2 chances before you're completely out of the tournament. Put it simply. And now onto the challenge rules itself for the qualifying round. So this challenge is logged chimps using only tier 4 monkeys and below with no hero, and the goal is to spend as little as possible to beat chimps. So the seeding for the tournament is based on how well you do in the qualifying round, so you best believe we're going to try our best here to get as low as possible, especially with 2 weeks to submit a score. On top of that, usually higher seed means in the first few rounds you play against weaker opponents. So that's a pretty big deal, and now let me walk you through my thought process behind getting to the lowest score possible. So first off, here's a very scuffed run that I did on day 1. As you can see, my first strategy is one involving embrittlement plus tack shooters. Reason being, well, first off, you're obviously not allowed to cheat or have someone give you strategies, but looking at past resources is likely fair game. So what I did is I went to this BT6 index page, basically it's a place where you find submissions of challenges like 2TC, 2 million pops challenges, and, well, very conveniently, least cash challenges, which is exactly what the qualifying round is. So I went ahead and took a look at a couple of the strategies on some maps here, and it looks like a lot of them do involve embrittlement plus tack shooter. Now, the thing is, they did use Geraldo, so that's obviously not allowed in this challenge because it's hero-less, which means the strategy is going to be a lot worse, which is why I went for way more tack shooters than, well, those runs did. And again, it is day 1, so the run is going to be heavily unoptimized, and yeah, let me just say it was pretty awful. Even with 4 overdrives and embrittlement and a bunch of support, we can't beat 95 with this setup. I think after testing a billion things, I gave up and did a new run with this time 5 overdrives. But even that wasn't enough, so I had to resort to doing a freaking spike ball out buff in the back. That puts the score now above 60,000, which frankly, if I had to guess right now, would be enough to qualify for the tournament, but definitely far from the best I can do, I think. Anyways, the strategy ran into even more problems around 100, so I had to spend even more money. Up to 65,000, and even have to drop a 000 ice in the back. Again, I was just using these first days as a general test to see what would work. So if I optimize the strategy, I could probably get sub 60k, but seems like you can't push it much lower than that. So back to the drawing board. After an hour or 2 of testing, I can pawn this strategy next. So get this, the main DPS tower is Tech Terror, which sounds like a very expensive tower in and of itself, but the thing is, that tower can almost solo chimps on its own. Basically, I went back to the index, and I looked at 2 towers chimps combos that involved a tier 4. And when searching, I came upon 18 hits of a Tech Tier completion, and some of them were very cheap completions too. One of them even being a Tech Tier plus a reactor, of all things. So you might be thinking right now, why don't I just copy that run? And voila, that's my submission. Well, the thing is, apparently, this completion here involved a bug, which no longer exists, so that combo is no longer possible. So instead, I had to be a little bit more creative and use my own brain. And here's what I did instead. First off, I'll buff the Super Monkey, and also give it a Jungle Jumps Discount Village, because Discount Village is insane for tier 3 Super Monkeys. Definitely a worthwhile investment, and get this. I'm going to end up complementing the Tech Tier with an embrittlement, which to some of you might sound like a strange combo, but the thing is, the Tech Tier only does 1 damage, which with its main attack. Obviously, not counting the crits, but if you consider that embrittlement gives +1, then we essentially double the damage of anything the embrittlement hits. So to me, that sounded pretty good, and based on my sandbox testing, it also seemed to perform pretty well. That's the key thing with challenges like this, or my mindset behind them. I don't jump into a real run until I test it in sandbox, and I'm fairly certain it am working. Also for the crosspath, I didn't mention this yet, but I want to go for an 0-4 too. I know there's already D-camo with the sub and the ice, but the thing is, knockback is super important. Like, you get less damage, but you can use the knockback to stall for more Tech Tier abilities. On top of that, it's not even that much less damage because they've increased the base super attack speed not too long ago, so yeah. Pretty smooth sailing with the strategy up until round 95, where there's a problem with the camo purples. Unfortunately, my Ice Tower can't get all of them, and neither can the Alchemist. So here's where the Submarine that I had to drop for early game comes into play. I have to end up doing Submerge and Unsubmerge Micro in order to barely beat this round and pop up purples. Because yeah, if I decamo all of them early enough, then that means the Alchemist can get more shots in the purples. And yeah, it took a dozen tries or so, but I finally did it. But that's not it, of course, because DTs are so scary. We have to time the Tech Tier perfectly so that it gets pretty much all DTs in the round and also cleans up. So yeah, next prom round was round 98, because the thing is, I need the ability up for 99, otherwise I can't beat 45 DTs. So I have to somehow end the round with a good amount of buffer room. And after another dozen tries or so, this is what I came up with. I had to use my second Tech Tier ability for all the mobs here. Enough to clean up the remaining mobs, and also enough that I can beat the remaining BFBs on the top right corner without using another ability again. And just like that, I can finish round 98 with about a quarter cooldown left, which is also enough now to wait for the cooldown and get all the DTs on 99. But that's not all, because round 100 is also pretty tricky. The thing is, like, these towers combined also barely have enough bad damage in it. So even after spamming the Tech Tier ability, the bad pops very late, and we die to the DT insides. And if not DT insides, then it'd be the ZMGs. So what I had to do to beat this round was, well, time the Tech Tier ability such that it also damages DTs underneath the bad so that we can actually beat them. And much to my delight, the Tech Tier ability was fast enough that I could still get a second Tech Tier up for the ZMG insides. If the ability came up like any second or two later, then they probably turn to mobs and we don't beat them. But we clutch it, and yep, this score absolutely blows my last score out of the water, 49.3k. So again, a very solid run, but with 2 weeks, there's plenty of time to optimize. So I went back in a sandbox, and now looking for a way to cut costs with this current defense here. So the first thing I think that has to go is the Monkey Sub, because these two towers already have camo. If there's a way to beat early game cheaper than this, then this is not necessary. The only thing this was useful for was 95. So what if I just get a tower that beats round 24 camos, early game camos, and also barely has enough pump power for round 95. So the tower I was looking at, or that I stumbled upon, was the Ninja. So starting off with the 201 Ninja, this already saves me a couple $100. And verdict is, it seems pretty good. I also tried a 101 Ninja, but it seems like there's not enough Pierce, sadly, and we end up leaking some purples. So the Ninja already is a good start, but what if I told you I could also try to cut the Alchemist? Which might be crazy, because Super Monkeys plus Alchemist are a good combo. But the thing is, I only really need the damage for round 100, so if it could be the other rounds, then that would be huge, because that's like minus $2,000 right there. So essentially we use Tech Tier 5 times this round. 1 here, 2 here, third one here, and 4 here. So the same thing applies from last time. Try to use the Tech Tier ability to get DT's damage at least, so that was off a little bit. How about a little bit later, like now, for example? There we go. That got all DTs, but can we clean up the ZMGs? Seems like the answer is sadly no, because the ZMGs are too far forward, unfortunately. I spent a long time figuring out what the next best option was, and finally, I think I might have cracked the code, which is swapping the Tech Tier and the redundant placement, because the thing is, Tech Tier in this spot means it does less damage to ZMGs when they're on the last bend. So that means I get my 5th Tech Tier ability up before the ZMGs can pop, hypothetically at least. But let's see how it works in reality. So, ability now. And that seems pretty good. Look, it's going to stop attacking for a brief moment, which might just be enough time for us to get it up. So close. How about one more time here? There we go. We have now proven this strategy works for round 100, but how about round 95? Because I swapped the Tech Tier in the Improvement round, which means the Tech Tier ability now cannot reach the very right side of the screen. And oh no, look at this. The Ice Tower not being able to hit the left side means I now leak a bunch of purples, which is, bad news bears. Okay, trying this again with a slightly different ice spot, a bit more to the left, and it looks like it works now. However, the placement is incredibly tight, and the thing is, I have to draw my Ice Tower first before the, Super Monkey. Okay, let's forget about that for now. So how about this part here? Ability? Okay, that seems to work for the left side just fine. I stand corrected, so the prom rounds have now been hypothetically beaten. And if I now do a hypothetical build order of this strategy, where I'd probably go for a 201 first, and then a discount village, and then lastly go for jungle drums, then wow. Look at that money save, $3,200 from our 49k run. Of course, we have to play it out still to see if it actually works for every round. So here we go, I guess. 101 Ninja to start. I'm actually going to also skip 201 for now, in the event that I could possibly save up for a discount village before then, because you see, 101 ninjas, honestly pretty cracked. At least when you give it enough room to breathe, and you see, yeah, if it meets round 15. What round does this die to? And how about 18? So far so good. Wow, this is huge. 2.5k with a 101 ninja. Unfortunately, I think the Devil Magic has run out, or has it? This is incredibly close to working. Wow, one balloon off. But if I can already get my 002 village right now, then we're set. 177 left over. Oh, crap. So close. Ah, blue balloon off. This right here, friends, is the definition of pain and suffering. This run seems okay. Yeah, we only have 2 regroup greens here. Nice. Back on strong. And now there's only greens left on the last bend. And there we go, guys. Mission successful. Let's go for the 201 now. And if I had to guess, this 201 can probably make it up to round 26. Probably needs help for round 27, if I had to guess. Actually, I stand corrected. This thing can actually solo 27. But I can't go for Super Monkey right now. I still have to go for Ice Tower instead. So I just gotta keep a mental note again of giving enough space for the Super Monkey. So I'll just randomly do here. And we do a 2-1-0. And in this spot, it does get all the LEDs, right? Perfect. We got a Super Monkey spot, boys. Yep. Just barely enough pixels to fit it in. And now we're pretty much in business until round 95. So, Jungle Drum's next. And 042. And here we go. Time to see now if the sandbox test will play out the same way here. So, so far so good. A couple purples here. That's the problem with a ninja in the left spot. This run though, hang on. We only have a couple purples left. One left. We did it, we did it. I think the key is now waiting for an opening on the right side to use the ability. Like, yeah, that leaves... I don't think I can have a single DT stay up. Otherwise, I can't beat it in time. Straight up not having a good time here, folks. Ability now. This is very close, but also no. Yeah, I just got no clue. What if I use the ability really late, like now, for example? Or early? This one actually seems pretty good. Provided we can snipe. Oh, that is... Wait. Okay, that's just not fair. Okay, how about now? Oh, that's lovely. Absolutely impeccable timing. No DTs on the right side whatsoever. So now it's just down to the fortifieds. Yep, I think I'm free to fast forward and survive the round, right? Oh, finally. Yeah, who needs outbuff, really? So, again, 1 tech tier to beat every fortified BFB. Alright, the play is first and close. Tech tier. That might be too many BFBs. Let's see, though. Actually, they might just be scared enough that it works. And this is even better than the other run. Abilities up entirely. And now I also need the ability up for around 100. So leave 1 DT up is good. And I should be able to pop this one in due time, right? Alright. I'm gonna get away with that. Hopefully the ability comes up for the right moment here. Yep, there's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Alright, and here is 4. Crap, might be too early. Yeah, I gotta wait like half a second more. Now? Come on. Okay, let's wait for the bear tail. Now. Please. Ugh. Very, very late. Nope, that wasn't even in range. Alright, 50th times a charm. Please. I think this just might be barely not enough damage, unfortunately. Yeah, frankly, this challenge might just come down to a matter of pixels of where I place the Super Monkey. Like, maybe it's higher up. It has a bit more, uptime on attacking the bad, which in that case is a GG, yeah. Well, so this is a whole new run starting from scratch with the Super Monkey placed just like 5 pixels higher than last time. And you'll see this time when we try to time the ability, we should be able to get the DDs underneath, yeah, with plenty of time. That's the difference 100 damage or so makes, and if we just speed up to the end, we can use the ability to clip the VFBs, and there it is. Just like that, we've completed the $46,055 run. Not bad. So yeah, this was a score I was satisfied with for quite a while, so much so that I was pretty much about to submit it, because there was no way I could cut any more from this specific strategy. This was the limit with embrittlements. I spent a long time, though, trying everything, and I mean everything, under the sun. to see if any other combinations of towers could work with tech tier, but I just couldn't find anything until now. Many days later, I've run into this strategy that I'm now 100% confident will be my final strategy if I can get it to work. And so much so that we're going to be officially submitting this run. That is by playing the challenge in the challenge browser itself without using the retry last round for challenge editor and or mods like speed hack. Because as per the rules, you're supposed to play this challenge to submit your score. So the same start, it's going to be a ninja. Here's where things start to deviate from my last strategy though, in that we don't go for a ninja upgrade. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and drop an ace. And the exact placement for the ace is right here in the right middle quadrant. So this ace is going to be in replacement of the embrittlement. The tower we're going for is fighter plane 320, and this basically covers everything that the embrittlement already does, except cheaper. Because again, there are only 2 problem rounds, I need enough bad damage to run 100, and I need to beat the count purples on 95. And that's what the fighter plane does. Global range with the flying plane missiles. It also shoots a volley of 12 darts with count protection so that they can pop enough purples on 95. And this ninja here is helpful for the early game as well as helping, well, pop a couple purples on 95. So if this works, then we will have set a score several thousand lower than the embrittlement run, which was, well, already cheap in itself. But the thing is, with this strategy, it's actually not just 95 and 100 that are problem rounds. You'll see in a little bit. But first off, the next point of business is to go for a double discount. And these problem rounds are, well, lead rounds because, as you can see from all the towers that I have on the screen, only the pineapples can pop leads. And I don't have any lead popping until Tech Terror, which I can only afford in the mid-50s, which means there's a couple rounds that have fortified leads that are going to be a huge pain in the butt. So what I had to do for these rounds here was I actually had to learn a couple of ace marker patterns to keep the ace as left as possible, at least to start for the lead tier. So at this point, change to figure 8, change back to circle, change back to figure infinite right now, and then back to figure 8, and then back to circle. And then we've already popped 1 of the 3, and now I gotta keep it, to the top right as possible. I messed that one up, but luckily, I think we're fine. And there's just 1 more lead. I should be able to get it over here. Come on. There we go. Not too shabby, but again, I had to practice for that, so it's not as easy as it looks. Unfortunately, round 45 will just practice for round 50, which has even more fortified leads, as you see here. So here we go again. Do the same pattern. So circle, back to figure infinite now, back to figure 8, and back to circle, and back to infinite now, so we can snipe the things here. And we only have 3 leads left to deal with. This is not too much to deal with, I don't think. Come on. 1 more lead. Surely the last lead cannot be the hardest. It turns out it might be. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, thank goodness. And now with a round 55 tech tier, I can relax for the next 40 rounds or so. And this is going to be our final score, if we set it. 43.7k. So hello again, round 95. I'm not 100% sure if Ace Micro is 100% needed to beat this round, but it sure doesn't hurt to do. So again, we'll just keep it to the left side at almost all times, and the ninja can just basically clean up any purple that we miss. Like that, for example. And just a little bit more micro to follow the purples here, and I think we're good, right? There's like 2 purples. Nope. Wait. Oh, no, we got it. Yeah, I lied. You definitely need micro to beat the purples on 95. So now for the ability timing. That was lovely. Come on. It feels like there's too many cerams from the F-mobs here. I'm about running out of patience here. This ability was a pretty good one. Yeah, please have this to be the run. It looks good. There's only like 2 small clumps of mobs left. I'll even do some micro there. First close also. Good. And okay, I think we finally beat 95. Alright, that took nearly a dozen tries or so. Definitely felt like one of those rounds that was harder in reality than it was in Sandbox. And again, hopefully I left not too many BFBs alive. To me, this seems very manageable. And the ability, that's good enough for 99, I think. Okay, not gonna lie, I definitely misplayed 98 because I usually beat this round with the ability up for 99 so that I don't have this problem. Yeah, I really messed this up. How about this run? 3 DTs left. And please clutch. Thank you, thank you. And that was ugly, but I think this is fine. Spent 10 minutes longer on 99 than I should have. Anyways, round 100 here. It, unsurprisingly, is also not very easy. In fact, I did enough sandbox testing, I think, to realize that beating round 100 is so tight that I have to do ace micro to get as many darts as possible to land on the bad. Yeah, that's what I mean, folks, when I mean it's really, really tight. So, again, we do the same left pattern. Now that the bad is going to the bottom, though, we'll do some figure 8 action. Back to infinite, and over here is where we will do the circle pattern to go for a top right bad damage. Taking it slow here so I can be sure I get this on the first try, and first try only. So again, wait for the absolute tail end of the bad. Now. And there should be enough damage. Oh, so close. Missed about 20 damage that time, I think. Okay, I took my foot off the pedal a little bit last run, so this time we're just going to keep on microing the ace until the absolute last minute here. So here we go. Now. This looks better than last time. Yeah, beautiful. And now all that's left to do is wait. In fact, we should try to get less damage on these EMGs so that they don't pop, so I'll try to micro the ace away this time. Just doing every little thing possible again to make sure that this doesn't pop. So come on. Come on. Done. That's it. There is no more optimizing to be done here. This is the run I'm going to submit. And now all that's left to wait and see is what seed we end up placing relative to all the other submissions in this challenge. So fast forward, it is now past May 26th. The submissions have closed and the results have been posted. And here's what we have. So the first place score ended up getting a cost of 41.3k, which was only 2,500 off of my score, so not too shabby. And in terms of the full rankings, it looks like my score placed 9th place out of a total of 382 submissions. So yeah, that's alright, I guess. And for those curious what those first place scores did differently than me, well, it looks like first place used some sort of crazy tech. That involved Monkey Pirate plus Alpha Buff plus Embrittlement plus Spike Balls, which is insane to me that can be Chimps mode. Very impressive. The other submissions, second and third, were pretty much the same tech as me as in the tech tier, except Monkey Pirates or Cannon Ship instead of Fighter Plane ended up being about $1,000 cheaper and actually worked. Pretty interesting results. So with that out of the way, the tournament now begins. And if you guys want to see me playing it and attempt these tournament challenges, then stay tuned. And hopefully you guys enjoy watching it too as much as I enjoy playing it, because sometimes it's fun to compete and try hard a little bit to see how far we can push this game to the limits. So yeah, stick around for round 1 coming very soon. Peace out.